The power of now is so powerful that most people seem to miss it, right? Most people seem to let it escape from them, right? But the power of now, what the power of now really is that in this moment, right where you are, is where all wisdom is, right? Infinite wisdom, infinite love, right? Infinite power. But most people's minds, their awareness is so hijacked by this outer world, right? This outer illusion, right? Outer mirage, as you say. But yeah, their awareness is so hijacked that they can't seem to find it, right? That's why people search for all these external things, right? All these external, like, material wealth or career, right? Or whatever it may be, right? Maybe a partner, which is nothing wrong with those things, right? Those things are meant for you to have, honestly. But it's people try to seek the truth in those things, right? Instead of seeking the truth within themselves, right? Because they get those things, right? Once they get those things, for the moment, right? For a brief period of time, right? Time doesn't exist, right? But just say for a brief period of time, they are satisfied, right? They have the peace of mind that they want. But they're missing the point, because once they achieve those things, right? Once they get that peace of mind, that instant gratification, or once they get gratified, their mind is quiet for a little bit, for a brief moment in time, right? But after a while, the mind gets restless again, and it starts back up. That's why most people aren't really satisfied, because they keep looking, they keep searching. They're like, where is it? Where's that thing that I want, right? Where could it be? That's why they jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And they go through life, the whole life, like that, like a hamster on a wheel, right? In the rat race. But the whole time, the power of now, right? Well, in the present moment, that's where the truth is. That's where all the power lies. All right? And it's funny, because when we're children and babies, that's how we naturally are, right? We're naturally in the present moment. We're naturally in that subjective state, right? A state of feeling, right? It's not until our conscious minds, or really our subconscious minds, it's not that they get to the point where they become conscious, right? Become like the age of 5, 6, or 7, that our conscious mind becomes conditioned, right? Or our subconscious really becomes conditioned, right? And then our conscious mind spawns into action around the age of like 6, right? And that's when the child starts to learn things, right? Starts to become of the world, instead of being who they truly are, right? Which is formless awareness. Because when you're formless awareness, everything's there for you, right? In that moment, in that present moment, you have everything in that moment. But then you get older, right? You get into like your teenage years, you start to realize, or you start to think that like everything is with outside of you, right? Or everything is outside of you. And that's where the illusion lies, right? And like I said, there's nothing wrong with getting money, or a loving partner, or whatever you want, right? Those things, you're meant to have those things, right? That's how the universe works. But that true peace of mind, right, comes from the present moment, right? That's why they call it the present, because in the present moment, that's all there is to really the present moment. Like I said, there's no such thing as time, right? There's no past or future, right? Past and futures are illusions, right? So everything you want, everything you need is right now. It's in the eternal now, right? Because in the eternal now, just remember, there's no such thing as time. All things exist, right? And all things exist in the eternal now, right? All things exist in imagination. Therefore, whatever you desire, you have, right? That means desire means having, right? So you can just sit there and relax and be like a child again, right? Gain that inner child, right? That kingdom of heaven, right? The kingdom of love, and be who you truly want to be who you really are, right? In the moment. And it's really that simple, right? That's why practicing mindfulness, right? Practicing being in the present mind, the present now, it's just so powerful, and it can really change your life. And like I said, right, most people miss it, right? The truth is so simple, but most people miss it because there's so much stuff going on, right? Like in this outer world, or on the news and the media, social media, so much stuff going on. And it's like that on purpose, because they know that the consciousness, right, it's the frequency on the planet is rising. So they have to do whatever they can to keep you in a state of survival, right? A state of panic, a state of not enoughness, so they can keep their power over you, right? Because we're in the information age, we're in the age of Aquarius. Things are starting to shift. And they know this, and they know in order to keep their power, they got to keep you entertained. They got to keep your mind occupied, right? Because the whole world happens in your mind, right? The world is happening within you, in your own consciousness. So they know they can feed you the illusion, or they can constantly feed you the illusion. They know you will remain the same and not be who you truly want to be, right? They know all this. So that's the power of the present moment. The present moment will give you everything that you need, everything that you want in life. And you don't have to search for it, right? Because the truth will always be the truth. And the truth is the truth. And it never went anywhere, right? It was just you running from it, right? You ran from the truth. And you try to chase the truth in external things. When you chase external things run from you, right? Even when you grasp them, it's like a mirage. You grasp them, it falls away. It disappears, right? Because you think you gained something, but really you didn't gain anything. You really lost anything at that, because you don't know your you don't know your true self, your true form, right? Which is formless awareness. But yeah, that's it for today.